Welcome back to the Just Thinking PE vlog. This week I just wanted to follow up on the conceptual based learning vlog that I did last week, and there was lots of response. I think it was, I should have looked this up, number 3 I believe on the YouTube page that this video was linked to as well. You guys came through. It was impressive. Lots of concepts, lots of discussion on this, and I thought it would be good to follow up a little bit and look at some of those or some of the ideas I had. I mean, the gist of the concepts was to brainstorm, think of concepts that fit your environment, and then go with it. And again, these concepts are bigger than PE, but they can be related. They should be related to PE, obviously. If you missed it, Andy Vasily did a follow-up that dug a little bit deeper into concept-based learning and some of his experiences with it. I encourage you, it's again in the link in Twitter to follow up with that. What I wanted to do today is just discuss a little bit about how do we do it. We have a list of concepts. Lots of people are doing these concepts. So just look at the logistics and I guess a kind of a logical next step, if I can use logistics and logical in the same sentence. Thank you for allowing that. We just have so many environments. There's elementary environment, there's middle schools, there's secondary or high schools. Every school is set up differently. Schedules are set up differently. And one of the concerns that was brought up several times was this idea of, how do I implement this? I'm in a elementary school and I'm a lone ranger. I'm in an island. I'm in a building and I never see any adults. Or I'm in a middle school and I see my students for 9 weeks, and half of my students have one math teacher and half of my students have another math teacher. So if one math teacher is doing concept-based learning and the other math teachers aren't, how does that look and what do we do with that? So there was a lot of, and my thinking on this is related back to, and I'm going to date myself, back to some of the integration conversations we've had with how do you integrate math into elementary physical education and some of the strategies. And I'm going to start with what I think you should do and what I think is an approach that I found pretty effective in a lot of different areas, is start small. If you're an elementary teacher and you're the only teacher there, try and integrate some concepts that maybe other teachers aren't doing, but you can integrate concepts that work for you, and then see if maybe one classroom teacher will do that. And if that one classroom teacher will do it, then you can start to bridge the gap with some of these areas. Is this true concept-based learning? Maybe not, but it's a way to start small. If you're in a middle school, start with some of your classrooms, and then maybe a colleague wants to join and see how you can troubleshoot some ideas of sequencing and putting in these concepts and learning outcomes and provocations and all these things that work and don't work, and troubleshoot. And some things are terrible and some things are great. And then you've expanded that to 2 teachers and then maybe another teacher. And then maybe there's a math teacher that might be willing to do this. Again, I think that the idea is to start small and to continue to progress. I've been inspired by your feedback on this so far and your responses and talking. And I would love to hear more about those of you that do this, how you've gone about doing this. I know Mel and Joe Dixon and Mel Hamada have talked about their experiences with trying to do this in their environments specific to, I think, middle school. So I would love to hear your ideas on how to go about not just developing concepts. We have lists and you guys have done a great job with that, but what's the next step? How do we go about implementing this in such varied environment? So that's what I'm thinking, and as last week, I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Thrive.